Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. In the early 90s, terror struck Ohio as a serial killer stalked the countryside and picked off lone men at random, leaving authorities baffled and the public afraid. The killer's chilling pattern and apparent obsession with the victim's dogs added a sinister twist to the case, making it all the more perplexing. But as the investigation deepened, a shocking truth emerged, revealing the killer's identity and the disturbing motives behind the horrific crimes. This was the terrifying tale of the roadside sniper, Thomas Lee Dillon. Little is known about Dillon's early life, other than he was born on July 9, 1950 in Canton, Ohio, and resided in Magnolia. He also had a wife and a son, had a college education, and worked as a draftsman for a Canton Waterworks company for 12 years. For reasons unknown, he embarked himself on a string of random shootings, starting with Donald Welling, who was walking or jogging alongside Road 94 in Tuscarawas County. 3 days later, Jamie Paxton was out with his dog on a nearby road when he was shot in the back and killed. The dog was unharmed. 9 days later, Claude Hawkins was shot while fishing near the Wills Creek Dam in Coshocton County. His dog was also present but unharmed. The FBI became involved in the investigation after the fourth victim, Gary Bradley, was shot in Caldwell, Ohio. A manhunt ensued, but Dillon had vanished. It was during the investigation into these three known murders that Dillon sent a typewritten letter to a local newspaper detailing the killing of Jamie Paxton and claiming that, although he had no personal animosity towards the young man, he was prompted by an irresistible compulsion to shoot him. The letter provided authorities with a possible motive and a psychological profile of the killer. But it wasn't enough to catch him. Meanwhile, a task force consisting of the FBI, officers from the Tuscarawas, Belmont, and Coshocton counties, and officials from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources was assembled. They discovered that a man named Kevin Loring, who died in Muskingum County while out deer hunting, and the death being concluded as an accident, had actually been murdered. 10 days after the task force meeting, Dillon claimed his final known victim, Bradley, who was fishing in Caldwell, Ohio. Despite the surveillance, Dillon would attempt to kill Larry Aller in Tuscarawas County, but he missed him and Aller escaped uninjured. Sometime later, he sold the rifle used in the killings to an unidentified gun dealer. On November 27, 1992, Dillon was arrested on a weapons charge and placed under probation for illegally owning a silencer. It was apparently at this point that he confessed to having committed the sniper shootings, and on July 12, 1993, Dillon pleaded guilty to the 5 murders in court. During the ensuing trial, he was interrogated by psychiatrist Jeffrey Smalden, who deemed him to be sane to stand trial, despite allegations made by Dillon that a voice in his head commanded him to commit the murders. Also, investigators were able to find the gun dealer who bought Dillon's rifle and successfully recovered the weapon from him. He was soon found guilty and sentenced to 5 consecutive sentences of 30 years to life with no possibility of parole for aggravated murder, being incarcerated in a southern Ohio correctional facility. Afterward, Dillon began sending letters to Smalden in which he stated that he felt guilt from his actions. An attempt had been made to sell Dillon's story to Hollywood, which was responded by the passage of the Paxton Bill, named after Dillon's second victim, Jamie Paxton. The bill prevented killers or their relatives from profiting from their crimes. In 2011, Dillon became ill from cancer and died 3 weeks later in the prison wing of Corrections Medical Center on October 21st. Dillon targeted random men, all of whom were alone along byways in rural areas and doing activities of leisure at the time of their death, such as hunting or fishing. He would shoot them at least twice from a distance with a high-powered 308 Mauser rifle. Dillon was profiled as an educated white male in his 20s with a predilection for crimes such as arson and killing pets and farm animals, and lived a short distance from the crime scenes. He might be a nominal family man, but was likely a loner in life. He had a drinking problem and a history of compulsive crimes such as vandalism and arson. Stress would trigger the shootings, which usually would be committed while he was drunk. Dillon also confessed to committing to other murders, one occurring 13 years prior to his first confirmed murder, the other in which the victim had long hair and was presumably a woman. Jeffrey Smalden also expressed the likelihood that Dillon may have committed numerous other murders. Dillon was also responsible for setting over 100 fires and killing more than 1,000 pets and farm animals. As the case of the roadside sniper was closed, the families of the victims could finally begin to heal. Dillon's chilling crimes had not only shocked the nation, but also raised awareness about the importance of mental health treatment and responsible gun ownership. The roadside sniper case remains one of the most infamous cases of its kind, serving as a reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the minds of seemingly ordinary people. That's all for today. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe for more crime stories.